Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Hope you had a wonderful 4-day weekend. We're going to go ahead and get started with our morning meeting. If you want to go ahead and log on to starfall.com. And then once you're there, go ahead and click on our calendar.
Yippee! It's April 2020. Let's make a calendar.
All right, we're going to go ahead and click that green sparkly arrow and do the days of the week.
Sunday,
Monday,
Tuesday,
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, so
What day of the week is it today?
what day of the week is it today?
Great job!
Yeah, today is Tuesday, April 14th, 2020. So it is Tuesday. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move on to the part where we
Fill in the missing day and date.
fill in the missing day and date. So we just said it was Tuesday, so I'm going to go ahead and drag Tuesday over. And then yesterday was the 13th. So what will today be? Yeah, the 14th.
Great job!
So it is Tuesday the 14th. Okay, now we get to
Mark any special days this month.
mark any special days this month. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with the main holidays in this month, as we normally do. So Wednesday, April 1st, 2020, that was a holiday. That was April Fool's Day. And remember, that was that holiday where you got to do some loving and playful pranks on your friends and family. So I'm going to go ahead and put a smiley face on Wednesday, April 1st, 2020, because that was April Fool's Day. Okay, and then I'm going to jump to that next week of Monday the 6th, and I'm looking at Thursday, April 9th, 2020. That was Passover. And remember, that was that Jewish holiday that we talked about during our social story on last Thursday. And then I also did a baking video to go along with some of the traditional desserts that happen on this day. So I'm going to go ahead and put a smiley face on Thursday, April 9th, 2020, because that was April Fool's Day, Passover. Okay. So Thursday, April 9th was a holiday, and Friday, April 10th was also a holiday, and that was Good Friday. And I know a lot of us did celebrate or acknowledge that day at least, and that is the day that, or the start that tells us it's going to be Easter weekend. And that's when Jesus died on the cross, for those of you who are of Christian faith. So I'm going to go ahead and put a smiley face on Friday, April 10th, 2020, because that was Good Friday. Okay, and there was nothing on that Saturday, but Sunday, the whole reason that we got this long weekend, Sunday was Easter. And that is the holiday also for people who are practice the Christian faith, and they remember that is the day that Jesus rose from the dead. So I'm going to go ahead and put a smiley face on Sunday, April 12th, 2020, because that was Easter. All right, and then I'm going to jump to that next week of Monday the 20th, and there are two holidays that week. On Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020, that will be one of my favorite days. That's Earth Day. And remember, that's the day that we, around the world, just spread awareness and information and let people know how we can kind of work to keep our planet healthy and happy for years to come. So I'm going to put a smiley face on Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020, because that will be Earth Day. And then on Friday, April 24th, 2020, that will be another holiday. And that is the Muslim holiday Ramadan. That's the beginning of that. So on Friday the 24th, Ramadan begins. So I'm going to put a smiley face on that. And if you're just now joining us, I posted previously on our Google Classroom some more information about this holiday of Ramadan if you're still curious about it. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and mark three more days this month. So I'm going to mark on Friday, April 10th, when we didn't have, that was a no school day. So I'm going to put a star. And then on Monday the 13th, so yesterday, we also did not have school. So I'm going to put a star there. And if we look at our birthday calendar from our classroom, we have a birthday this month. So January, February, March, April, and Harry has a birthday this month. So Harry's birthday will be on Sunday, April 19th, 2020. And it will be his 13th birthday. Woo, teenager. All right, so Sunday, April 19th, 2020 is Harry's 13th birthday. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and move on from this, but you can continue to mark any other special days that you would like to this month. Now we get to
choose a picture for your calendar.
choose a picture for our calendar. Remember, there's 4 options on the right-hand side. There's that boy and the girl walking in the park together. There's the boy picking up trash. There's that planet scene, and then there's the rainy scene. So I'm going to go ahead and pick since it's a nice day out, the boy and the girl walking in the park. So this is what my picture will look like for today. But you can pick whichever one you would like. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and click that green arrow. And hooray, so we finished calendar. So now we're going to go ahead and look at what our weather is going to be like today. So go ahead, if you're following along, and look up Chico weather. And we just look at the information in this box, this first bunch of information that shows up when you click on Chico weather. Okay, so today is Tuesday, so let's make sure that we have that blue box on the left side around Tuesday, and it'll look like this. So we have our blue box, and then we have TUE, which is short for Tuesday, and then we have our weather picture. And I see a big yellow sun with some clouds covering a little bit. And then at the bottom, we have 2 temperatures. And remember, one's going to tell us our high for the day, and the other one's going to tell us our low for the day. So I see 79 degrees first, and then we have 50 degrees. So it'll look like this if you have a box around Tuesday. So imagine this will be a blue box, and we have TUE for Tuesday, what our weather type's going to be, and our two temperatures, our high and our low. And I'm not specifically touching one of them because I want to know which one of these numbers is bigger. Which one's closer to 100? Yeah, so if you said 79 degrees, that one is going to be our expected high for the day. Okay, so now this is the part where we want to make sure that we have our box around our temperature here. So we have those 3 rectangles, and we want to make sure temperature is clicked. So we're looking at that information, and then you can look at the temperatures throughout the day, but I like to just look at this box. And so 79 degrees Fahrenheit will be our high for the day. So let's see where that lies on our scale here. So here's 70, here's 75, and then here's 80. So I know that, 79 is going to be between 75 and 80, and it's going to be closer to 80 because it is 1 less than 80. So 79 is right here, and if we look, we are in that warm temperature section. So it will be warm today, and I have already been outside today, and it is pretty warm out, so it's a beautiful day. Okay, so now we're going to go over our expected low for the day, and that's where we get to look at our other number here, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So if we look at 50 on our temperature scale here, we can just go to this big 50 here, and oh look, it is actually in between. It's this middle line that's between the cold section and the cool section, so right here. So it's just barely out of that cold section but into the cool. So 50 degrees is kind of cool or cold depending on who you are and how you feel, because it is smack dab right there. See that line? That's where we're at. So that will be our lowest temperature for the day. All right, so let's check now our precipitation. Okay, so we want to make sure that our precipitation box is now clicked on right here. So there's temperature, precipitation, and wind, and precipitation is this middle one. So we want to see, and I'm looking at, remember there's that blue line with the percentages? This is very straight or stagnant. So I'm going to look up at the top right here where it says temperature, humidity, precipitation, humidity, and wind. We want to look at the precipitation at the top. So it says, so I'm writing precipitation, and it is 0%. So, which explains why that blue line was stagnant or straight across, because we are not expecting rain or any type of weather today. And I'm looking outside and I see nothing but big, beautiful blue skies and sunny. So keep that in mind. Okay, so now that we've gone over our precipitation, we're going to look at our wind for the day. So we want to make sure that wind is right here and it's clicked, and you'll see those arrows with the miles per hour, the speeds of the wind throughout the day. And I'm going to look at that top where we just looked at precipitation, humidity, and wind. And it says wind will be about 5 miles per hour. So 5 mph, or miles per hour, will be our highest wind for the day. And I'm looking outside and the slightly breezy, but not too much. But that makes sense because 5 miles per hour is not too crazy of a wind speed. Okay, so now that we've looked at our temperature, our precipitation, and our wind, I'm going to go ahead and look at what type of weather we're going to have today. So remember when I drew our weather type photo? It looked kind of like this. We got that big yellow sun with the 2 clouds. Yeah. Does anyone remember what type of weather that represents? Partly cloudy. So today will be partly cloudy, and I'm not seeing any clouds right now, but that doesn't mean that there won't be, but just right now. So today will be a high of 79 degrees Fahrenheit and partly cloudy. Let's look for tomorrow. So we want to make sure we have that blue box around Wednesday here. And I'm seeing 2 temperatures. One of them is 80 degrees and the other is 55 degrees. So we have 80 degrees and 55. So what will be our high for tomorrow? 80 or 55? Or which one is closer to 100? Yeah, so we're going to look at this number. So 80 degrees Fahrenheit will be our high for tomorrow. So we can go ahead and look on here and look at that. We're on another exact line. So 80, and what's going to be warm? Yeah, 80 degrees is pretty warm. So a high of 80 degrees tomorrow, and we'll look at the weather type. So if you look up at the top here, it says Chico, California, and then it should say Wednesday because we're looking at Wednesday. And then it'll say underneath Wednesday what type of weather, and it's got that same picture as this. And we talked about how this means partly cloudy or mostly sunny. It's so silly how they do this. So Tuesday and Wednesday both have the same picture, this sun with the clouds, but Tuesday they say it's going to be partly, so today's supposed to be partly cloudy, and tomorrow will be mostly sunny, which those are the same thing to me. This is silly, but yeah. Okay, so now this is the part where if we were in our classroom, we would have our weather for today and our weather for tomorrow. So today's high, we said, was going to be 79 degrees Fahrenheit. And tomorrow, Wednesday's highest temperature, we said was going to be 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And they both, remember, had the same weather type. So, today will be a high of 79 degrees Fahrenheit and partly cloudy. Tomorrow will be a high of 80 degrees Fahrenheit and mostly sunny or partly cloudy, whichever you would like to call it. Okay, so. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to our social story for the day. But if you would like to continue to quiz yourself or your family, you can. But we talked about, so if we think back to, let's see, so it wasn't last Friday, we didn't have school last Friday, and Thursday we had a Passover social story. So last Wednesday, so we've been talking about in our social stories what arguing is, and kind of following in that theme, we talked about what it is when it's, let's see, when it is not okay to argue, what compromises, so that was our last one. So the last thing we talked about was what compromises. So we're going to continue on this theme, and this will be the last portion of this arguing social story theme. But we're going to learn about arguing to learn today. So, one kind of argument is called debate. In a debate, two people with very different ideas get together and both people try to prove why their idea is right. When politicians debate, so our politicians are the people that represent us in our government. So when politicians debate, there is usually an audience. And then in another scenario, in social studies class, we have debates. My teacher puts us into pairs, and each pair is given a topic to debate. Last week, my partner and I had to debate about school uniforms. My partner had to argue why school uniforms are good, and I had to argue why school uniforms are bad. We took turns presenting our ideas and responding to each other's ideas. So, my teacher says that debates help us learn. Listening carefully to people with different ideas can help us decide what we think and believe. Debates are a good kind of argument. So, breaking this down a little bit. So, arguing to learn. When you argue to learn, it's typically called debating. And when two people are debating, one person's going to have an opinion, and then the other person will have a different opinion, and they both have to try and convince each other why they're right. But they do this in a respectful way by listening to one person talk about their idea, waiting until they're done talking about it, and then the next person will explain about their idea and why they think that way. And it kind of goes back and forth until you either are convinced about one specific idea, or you might just agree to compromise, and compromise in a way like agreeing to disagree. So you may not ever agree on something. So instead of just fighting about it, they're just going to agree to disagree and say, we have different perspectives. I appreciate your perspective, but I'm still going to think the way that I do. And that's okay too. So, the biggest highlight from this social story that I would like you to take away is that listening carefully to people with different ideas can help us decide what we think and believe. And so, debates are a good kind of argument. So we haven't done really too much debating in school. So you might not be too familiar with what a actual debate looks like, but I kind of just broke it down for you. And you might, as you get older, and probably in high school, you'll probably learn to debate something in your classes. So now you'll know how to argue in a way where you also learn something, or debate. So I'm going to go ahead and put this into our usual Google slide form where I'll have pictures and everything, and then I'll post it on our Google Classroom. But other than that, that was a short and sweet finish to our discussion about arguing and the different pieces that go into arguing. But if you have any more questions or still are confused about something, you can either ask a trusted adult in your house, or I would love if you would reach out to me on maybe Google Classroom or my phone or email, anything like that. If you still have questions about this, or you would like more social stories to learn more about this topic, let me know. But if not, this is going to end our morning meeting for Tuesday. So, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I miss you all. Come talk with me in Google Classroom or email me. Just keep in touch, because I would love to hear from you all. I feel like I don't want to feel disconnected from you. So I think I'm gonna go outside and enjoy some sun, and hopefully once you finish your work for the day, you all can go and enjoy some sunshine too. All right, take care, everyone. Bye.